How would you say your body is right now, especially after 2 Diamond Leagues in China and doing extremely well in Kingston?
Yeah, I mean, the 3 weeks off were calculated. We planned to have 3 weeks of a training block in May. And so I had a very good training block, very consistent in terms of what we're working on. So I'm feeling pretty good.
So that's huge, because for you, this is a real focus. You are looking to execute and you're looking to get that 100K.
Well, looking to execute, first of all. You know, we made some technical adjustments to the hurdle race, and so every race I go into, it's a chance to just work on it and try to perfect it as much as possible. And I know if I hit the technical points, then yeah, winning is definitely up there.
And Ackera, with yourself, what took place in Miami was actually unbelievable. First of all, let's talk about the hurdles. You crossed the line, and admittedly this is about winning. It's not about times per se. But when you looked across the clock, what was going through your head at that point?
The 100K. But in Miami, I just feel like the environment was like really good, and I just turned 23 on Tuesday. So when I went to practice, I was just like, Coach, like I need that 100 grand, and he was just like, yeah, you need it, but you got to do what you need to do. So you got to go out there and then show them that you're really good at the 100, and everything will like play into place. And then I was just like.
But when you say show them that you're really good at the 100, 11:09, that's serious.
Yeah, actually I'm a really good 100-meter runner, but I don't train for it, which I know if I'm supposed to like really be like, okay, I'm gonna dedicate like 1 year to 100 itself, I know like I can be like under 11 seconds actually, yeah.
Wow. And somebody who really hasn't dedicated themselves to 100 meters is yourself, Sydney. It's what the world is. I cannot wait to watch this. How are you feeling about the 100 meters?
I'm excited. Is this on?
I hope so.
Okay, I'm excited. Yeah, it's definitely new. It's a new feeling. Block starts were like fascinating to me, trying to get out of the blocks fast. But I think it's a great opportunity to just see where I'm at, switch up training. I love challenging myself in these kinds of ways, and I'm up against the best of the best in their respective events. So yeah, I'm excited to see what I do too.
What do you think time-wise would be needed to win? What would you imagine the winning time might be in Philadelphia?
That's hard to say. I think it's going to depend, honestly, on the weather. I can't even tell you, but I just know it's going to be fast, especially with these two. They both won the 100 in this group so far, so yeah, just got to get out of the blocks with them and try to hang.
Ackera, can you go faster than 11:09?
We can wait until Sunday.
Danielle, can you go 11:1?
Can I go up?
11:1 in the 100?
You know, I like to think so. Like, I don't run a lot of 100 meters. The last time I ran one before this year was 2017. And so I'd like to think I could go faster, but really just comes down to what Ackera brings, what they bring, and then I just compete.
Why y'all targeting me?
Because you said you could run 11:10, sub 11, so I feel like, okay, if you could do that, I'm going to show up and I'm going to compete hard. And if I'm competing hard, then I think that chances that I could run as fast as that.
And Sydney, let's be honest, you haven't turned up here to just see where your season's at. You love winning, we know that. I imagine you hate losing. So, is 11:09 possible for you?
I think it is, for sure. I think I've continued to get faster over the years. I haven't ran 100 since college, which wasn't when dated, but 11:07. So I think just progressing, growing. I'm here to compete. I'm here to compete against the best and to put my best foot forward and definitely, yeah, see what I can do.
So if I spoke to you after the race on Sunday and I said, unfortunately, Sydney, you came 4th, you'd say, you go, I should have done better. Would you say that?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I always want to win. You know, that's always the goal. Always. That's why we're all here. And that's just a matter of you executing your race and your plan that you and your coach have set out to do.
And then in terms of the hurdles event, what's your approach with that? I mean, the times were filthy in Miami.
Yeah, I mean, it's really just, it's sprint hurdles. You know, I'm so used to having a little bit more room in between, but it's definitely just about quick turnover, me focusing on myself, being a little bit taller, just executing properly, and yeah, making sure those last few hurdles I'm just on my game.
And then Danielle, for you, does it matter the order, whether it's 100 hurdles, then flat, or flat 100 hurdles?
Yes, it does.
Which do you prefer?
I am going to do my event first. Yes.
And how much of an effect does it have on you?
It has no effect. What, you mean doing my hurdles first?
Correct.
It really doesn't have any effect. I really just want to get my event out the way, do what I'm working on in my event, and then turn my attention to the fun part, which is the 100, because that's what I consider to be the fun part. There's really no bearings, nothing riding on the 100. I'm just showing up and competing and trying to beat everybody else.
And out of interest, so when you say nothing's riding on it, there's a lot of cash riding on it.
Well, of course, yeah. But I know if I show up, if I do what I'm supposed to do in the hurdles, then the 100 should be a lot easier because I have a lot of foot speed. I know I have a lot of foot speed, and I can trust that to know that there's not 8 people that's going to beat me in the 100. I'm confident in that. And so if I take care of the hurdles first, then because the hurdles is pretty deep. It's the most competitive event in track and field. And 1 through 8, anybody could win. I mean, if you put a second heat, 1 through 8, 1 through 15, anybody could win. But I know in the flat 100, there's not 8 people that's going to beat me in the flat 100.
And Ackera, so you said, obviously your coach said 100K would be nice. How hard is it not to type when you have that kind of sum of money? We're talking about a deposit for a house. There are so many things you could do with that, especially in track and field. It's game-changing money. Are you able to block that out and just be motivated on execution?
I feel like this year for me, going pro was like really challenging, like my first 2 years, to be honest. But I feel like for this year, it's just more of like fun and like stuff like that. And at the end of the day, money comes and money goes, so I can't really focus on that. Like I have to focus on like becoming a better athlete as the year go by for like younger generation coming up. Be like, I want to be like that. I want to be more than what the sport has to offer.
And Sydney, final part. Is it annoying being Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone at times when everyone thinks you step onto a track, any distance you compete in, you're going to win, you're going to dominate, medal around your neck before you even competed? Is that hard?
It's only as hard as you let it be. I think it's great for the sport. It's great for just bringing excitement to whatever it is I'm trying to do. But yeah, I don't pay too much attention to it because I've heard there's quite a few articles out there already. So yeah, I try not to read those and just focus on what I'm here to execute and do.
And where's your joy? Is it in the winning? Is it in the times? Is it in changing your life with your family, church? Where is your joy with what you do?
My joy is in my faith, and it's allowed me to go out here and run freely, knowing that whatever happens this weekend, I'm content. I'm going to put my best foot forward. I'm going to execute well and compete hard, but ultimately, whatever the result is, has no bearing on my piece.
Well said. We absolutely cannot wait to see it. We'll have a bearing on my piece because the blood pressure is going to be very, very high. But can we give a massive round of applause to Sydney, to Ackera, and to Danielle?